Good. So again, namaste. Welcome to class. We're going to just start for a moment with a gentle relaxing of the eyes and relaxing of the body. Just slowly letting your eyes go to the floor or close them completely. Relaxing your body for a moment, letting your seat be heavy. So legs and feet nice and heavy. And then out of that heavy base, letting your spine lift, lift, lift. Relaxing your arms and your shoulders down your back, keeping your chin parallel to the floor. Just taking a few gentle breaths right there. Notice where you're breathing in your belly and your chest. Just noticing the diaphragm moving side to side or down into your tummy. And then keeping your shoulders really soft, just bringing your hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. A special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Hari Das. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings, and with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. Taking just a moment and set an intention for your practice today. So this Wednesday, nice, beautiful space you're in. What do you need today for self-transformation? And then forming that into a positive sentence as if it were already happening and repeating it to yourself 3 times silently. And then if you are where you can Om to open the beginning and the end. It won't stay on my recording. It's going to be really weird. So just go with me. Exhale the breath out and inhale to chant. Om. Letting your eyes flutter open with an inhaled breath. And just putting your hands, interlacing your fingers, and let's do small figure eights. Just nice small figure eights. See if you can go in the opposite direction. Good. And then press your arms away for a minute. Let your shoulders just come off the back, the shoulder blades. Just kind of go side to side, just a few extensions, just moving them side to side. And then bring your hands, the back of your hands to touch your heart and roll your shoulder blades up and back and down. Good. And then let's continue to roll the shoulders for just a minute. One direction, and then let's pause. Just notice where you paused, and then the other direction. Good. And then open the arms wide for a moment. Palms facing me. Just really wide hands, really wide arms. And now let's make really wide fingers. So really stretch your hands as far as you can. Just really reaching, and then take your fingers back while your palm stays to the front. Just taking your fingers back and really stretching the fingers. Good. And then make fist. Put your thumb on the outside. Make a fist. And then let starburst it open. And then make a fist again. Really. And then starburst open. And this time with your thumb on the inside. Make a fist. And starburst open. Good. And then keeping your shoulder blades down your back, we're going to bring our arms front and center. Just bringing them in so they won't go toward one another unless you bend your elbows. So keep your elbows not bent, just right out in front of you. Good. And then let's flip our palms toward the floor for a minute. And then we're going to take our left shoulder blade off as we move the arm over and all the way back until you touch your spine. Just reach back and touch your spine. And then come out and open. Good. And then this shoulder blade's going to come off. As you reach back slowly, just touch your spine and come back. Both arms open. Good. Let's go back and give ourselves a hug. Just reach for your shoulder blades. Just reaching for your shoulder blades. Give a little massage down into the point of the shoulder blade. And then notice which arm you have on top. We're going to go again. Go back out, palms facing me. With really big fingers. And then flip the palms down. And then using the opposite arm on top. Opposite arm on top. Little massage back there. Good. And then open, nice and wide. And then relax your arms for a minute. Just let your fingertips touch either into your lap or to the floor. Letting your shoulders be really heavy. Really, really heavy. Good. And then inhale and lift your spine and just a little bit of twist over to the left. And then exhale, return. 3 times. Inhale, lift and twist. Keep looking at me, looking at me, looking at me. And return. Why are you looking at me? Because I want you to use just your torso and not your head and chin and neck. And back to the center. Okay? So we're going to inhale, lift, and we're going to go now to the right. And back to center on our exhale. So we're inhaling. We have something to resist against as we twist and lift. And exhale, back to center. One more time. Inhaling, lifting, and twisting. And exhale, back to center. Good. Okay. So let's stretch our legs out in front for just a moment. Make sure our big toe knuckles can touch and our heels are separate. See if I can get far back that you can see. So my heels are separate, but my big toe knuckles are touching. Good. And then just lifting up the right leg for a moment and just moving it in the hip joint. So everything else is staying stable, not moving anything else, just the hip back and forth. And then now let's go up and down a little. Good. And then extend that leg out in front and taking up the left leg. So initially back and forth, just back and forth. Everything else is staying stable. Good. And then up and down. Excellent. And then flex both feet as they go back out again, just reaching into the feet. Good. All the way through. So really feel yourself on your sit bones and reaching through the heels, keeping the heels on the floor. Some of us hyperextenders can lift those heels and we do not want to do that. So nice tall spine. Good. And then we're going to, again, cross our legs again. But whatever was the comfortable one, whichever one you're going to go to the other one. So the other leg is in front, where we just were. Good. Okay. And now we're working the hips again. We're taking our whole torso around the hip joint. So think about sit bone, pubic bone, sit bone, tailbone. Sit bone, pubic bone, sit bone, tailbone. One more time in this circle. And then let's go back in the other direction. Nice big circle. The whole torso is as one. Good. And then coming nice and upright, feeling really tall for a moment, just really, really tall. Good. And then let's come over onto our hands and knees. And you can put a little something under your knees if you have any knee issues. I have a couple of mats under mine because I'm on a concrete floor. So I have 2 mats. Good. So finding yourself in table. And this pose is so important. Our 4 legs are really falling out of the joints above. So our wrist underneath our shoulders and our hands are in front. Hands are in front of our shoulders. And our knees are right outside of our hip joints, falling down. So not close and not too far. Okay. So finding that spot. And then gazing at the floor for a minute, right between your hands. Just looking at the floor, keeping your neck long. Now, really big fingers, just like we did when we opened our hands. So you might even have an L from your index finger to your thumb. And then pressing the tops of the feet toward the floor. Just press them as much as I can. Tops of the feet toward the floor. See if you can think about pressing your little toe down into the floor. Good. So we're going to inhale and arc our spine toward the ceiling for a second. We're going to change the pattern of our inhale various times. Curl the toes under, get round, and then breathe. With each exhale, while you're still in the same position, with each exhale, really pulling your belly toward the spine and arcing a little bit more. Toes are curled under. And then we're going to come into neutral. We're going to lay the toes out, bring the spine into neutral. Good. And then really feel your pelvic floor lift, feel your belly lift. We're going to inhale into the other direction. Again, we're going to curl our toes under and take the back of the head toward the tailbone and the tailbone toward the and breathe. Good. And then on your next exhale, let's come again into neutral. Find neutral, lay your feet out, laying the feet out one more time. Good. Really press into your hands onto the floor. Big fingers. Fingers are super important here because we want to spread the weight and dump it into our wrist. So we want the fingers activated. Good. And now we're going to combine the two movements with our breath. So it depends on you. You follow your breath so you can inhale or exhale wherever you personally feel like you need the most power. So you might exhale here and inhale here. Or you might exhale here and inhale here. You decide which suits you best, and we'll do 4 cat-cow breaths, okay? Use your feet. Don't forget your feet. And once you've completed your 4th round, just find yourself in neutral. And now your feet can be down or curled under, whichever feels best for your ankles. Good. And then let's press back just a little. You can be down here or up here. We're going to just come off and do some circles with our hands. So we really want to keep our wrists nice and juicy and healthy, okay? So big circles, other direction. Good. And then starburst. Really keeping those parples, that whole little elastic band that's under your skin that helps stay nice and healthy. Okay, so let's come back down to all fours. And again, really spreading your fingers, spreading everything out. Good. So I want us to think about this pose for me. We're going to do Surya Churya, which means sunbird. And so when we're doing that, we really want our torso and our body to be even. And the two elements, I'm going to hit the chair, the two elements that are going out in either direction are dependent on the rest of it staying nice and even, okay? So we're going to do it slowly, and then we're going to go into a little bit of a vinyasa, which just means combining action with the breath, a little choreography, okay? So initially, let's just take our right foot back and our left arm forward. We haven't taken the foot off the floor yet. So just finding stability here, pull your belly away from the floor. And then just lift enough to try to create a long line of energy. So nice long line. I'm not kicking the foot up or out. My toes are headed toward the floor. And then release the hand and release the. Good. And now let's go to the other side. So I'm going to step back with my left foot. Toes are curled under, pressing through the heel, and then letting my right arm float up. So initially, everything is, my foot is on the floor. And then I'm going to just lift enough, pull the belly in toward the spine. And then lower the hand and lower the foot. I have my chair here because I want to use it in a moment. Right now, it's stopping me. So I'm going to move it out of the way. Okay. So ready? Good. So step back with your left foot, right arm forward, lift the leg, and then bring everything in as if you were on train tracks. You're not going to cross them. You're going to just stay even. Exhale in. Inhale, expand. Exhale in. Inhale, expand. One more. Exhale in. Inhale, expand. And then release the hand, release the leg. Good. Excellent. A nice little pause, letting everything recalibrate. Good. And then stepping back with the right foot. Left arm extends, looking at the floor. Letting the leg come up just enough to be parallel to the floor. So not kicking it out. Take a nice inhale and exhale. Train tracks. Knee comes in, arm goes out on a train track. You're not crossing. You're not taking elbow to knee. One more. And release the hand and release the leg. Good. And now let's curl the toes under or lay them out, coming back again, circles with the wrist. And starburst. Great. Okay, so now we're going to come up to standing, nice and slowly. Just find your space. Let's look for our Tadasana. So for me, it happens to be about a fist between my big toe knuckles. But it's going to depend. It just depends on how you're built, how your feet are. But it's these bones that we're lining up with. So that when you look down, these bones are going over your feet. Good. And then make sure your heels are out behind your second and third toe crease. So no external rotation. Nice train track. Good. And then bend your knees and make sure you can still see your big toes. Good. And then just lifting. Let's lift through the quadriceps. Let's lift the feet first. Lift your toes, building from the bottom up. Lift your quads. Lift your pelvic floor. Lift your belly. And then lift your shoulders and let them roll down. And now release your toes. Good. Okay, so finding this Tadasana. So from Tadasana, nice and stable, to Urdhva Tadasana, coming up on the ball of the foot, and then exhaling back into Tadasana. So taking it nice and slowly, inhaling, coming up, and exhale, headed down. Inhale, coming up, nice and slowly. If you want to challenge yourself, take your gaze up toward the ceiling as you come up, right? So if you want to challenge, just let your gaze walk up to the ceiling and then bring your gaze back into neutral. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling up, and exhaling down. Good. So I brought the chair for a reason. You might have something that's close. It may even take you off camera for a minute. That's fine. So whether you have a couch or a chair or a bed or anything, I want us to recreate in standing what we did with our leg in Surya Churya. Okay. So I'm going to come over, hinge at the hips, find a place where my hips are making a right angle. And all I'm going to do is lift that leg, keep it pointing to the floor, and lower. So everybody get your piece of furniture. You can disappear from the screen for a moment. You've got something to put your hands on, okay? So I'm going to inhale and lift up. I'm going to hinge right at the hip, so poking my bottom out a little bit. Hinging at the hip, tailbone like a lizard toward the back. And then all I'm going to do is lift the leg. Rest through for a moment, just lift the leg. And look back underneath you and make sure your toes are headed toward the floor. They are not headed to the... Rest through your heel. And then lower the leg. And let's just press off for a moment before we do the other leg. Good. Again, inhale, lift, engage everything, feet, quads, pelvic floor, belly, everything. Hinge at the hip. And your support. And then gently raising the opposite leg. So when you look back underneath your body, you can see that your feet are lined up. So your toes are headed toward the floor. Good. One more breath. And then release it. And let's push off and come back up. Good. Everybody good? Great. Okay. So now I'm going to come to my mat. I'm going to face in one direction. I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle. Okay. I'm going to take an inhale and I'm going to step my left foot back. Okay. And then I'm going to take my arms right along my legs for a moment. They're going to go with your left leg. And then slowly, I'm going to hinge at the hip and then come back. You don't have to go very far, just a little bit of a tilt. So we're balancing our whole body weight on one leg, okay? Warrior 3, and breaking it down little by little, okay? So let's do the same side. I hit my chair, I'm gonna come up. Same side one more time. So lift, let everything engage. Feel everything engaged. Drape your toes down. And then step again, same leg, left leg back. Good. And then that little hinge at the hip joint. So this may be as far as I go. That's perfect. I want a long line, one long line over your standing leg. You can try to go all the way. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are is perfect for today. Okay? Ooh, good. Excellent. And then release it. Getting that body memory. So we're going to try the same thing one more time, same leg. Engage, toes up, quads lifting, pelvic floor lifting, belly lifting, shoulders up and back and down. Good. We're going to step back with our left foot one last time. Good. Make sure your right foot that's got to support this weight has that heel out so that you're not slew-footed. Okay? And then come up wherever you go. Perfect. Find your gaze. And then release the pose. Good. Excellent. So let's recalibrate before we do the lesson. Good. And maybe just take a brief relax. Like let your feet feel soft and let your calves and your quads feel soft. Let your pelvic floor just, let your belly be Buddha belly. So just a little relaxation, letting our bones have us. So just letting the muscle relax to the bone. And then consciously, we're going to rehabilitate ourselves. So we're going to lift the toes, engage the arch, feel your quads lift so the knees stay soft, but they're lifted. Good. Belly lifts, pelvic floor lifts, shoulders up and back and down, and then relaxing the toes. So you can really feel everything is hugging the bone and very engaged. Okay. Great. We're going to step back with our right foot. Good. Make sure that your left heel is where it supports your whole foot. So there's no rotation. Good. And then we're going to gently just lift off. You can flex the foot in the back or you can point it. I just am holding onto my wall. This is my standing leg is my bad hip. So I'm going to use the wall as a support. Good. So I'm keeping that long line of energy. I'm not going forward like that. Keeping that long line of energy and just pivoting on the leg. Toes are toward the floor. And then gently replace the leg. Good. Okay, we have 2 more times on that same side. So lifting again, re-engaging muscle to bone. Soft jaw. We don't need a clenched jaw to do this pose. Good. Step back with your right foot. I'm going to hold the wall. Good. Feel that hip crease. Know where that hip crease is. So our spine stays integrated. So we have to hinge at the hip, find that long line, and then lift the leg. And wherever you get to is perfect. Ooh, beautiful. Excellent. And then come out and replace the leg. Good. See how important the alignment of your standing leg is for that to feel comfortable? Just really notice that. So take that moment to like move the heel for the standing. Root, ground down. Excellent. And then step back. Let your whole body find that elongated line. Know where your joint is, so where you're going to move at the hip, and then gently finding that place. You can flex your foot, point the toe. I like to flex so I can actually look under and see that my 5 toes, however many toes you have, we're headed toward the floor. And then just bend the knee slightly, standing knee slightly. Come up. Good. So everybody grab something, a wall or something for just a moment. Whatever you want to grab. You may not need it, but I feel a little more secure if I ask you to grab something. I'm just going to show you, all we're going to do is keep the knees together and hold the heel close to the hip. You can always use a strap for this or a belt or anything, and then release it. Nothing bigger. And then the other leg. Good. Whoop. I'm going to change sides. So the knees are together. Hold it for a moment. Feel the quadricep stretch. Hopefully you can feel a little movement in your quad. If you flex and point your toe, then you really begin to feel it. And then release. Good. Okay, I'm going to go back to this side for a moment. So I'm going to step back with my foot. I'm back with my left foot. I'm going to do that little hinge going just to there. I'm going to hold onto the wall and just bend my knee. That's all. And come back down. And now I'm going to go over to the other side. Find your Tadasana. Make sure that you don't cheat on your Tadasana because it's going to keep you stable. Good. And then step back. Right leg steps back now. And I can tell you, I had to move my left heel. I had to move it back behind my second, third toe to give me that stability. So I'm going to hinge, come up, and then bend the leg. That's all. And flex the foot, and then coming back down. Good. So front and center. Good. Let's take our arms back behind us, open the heart, and squeeze the knuckles toward the floor. So really trying to show your sternum, your breastbone, to the ceiling. And release. Okay? I'm going to do it from the side so that you can see that I'm not moving anything at all in my hips. So we'll have a tendency sometimes to thrust our hips forward to do this movement. We don't want to have anything thrust forward. We're going to take the arms out to the side and squeeze. So you can see it all happen where I have ribs. Good. And exhale, release. Good. One more time. Take the arms back behind, squeeze the knuckles, and just try your best to show your sternum toward the ceiling. Not happening in your low back. Your low back is stable. Everything is stable down here. And you're just opening your heart, opening your chest. And exhale. Good. Okay. So let's get our prop. Make sure we have our prop. I'm going to turn mine around so I can use the other rungs. Okay. So it could be you're going over to your bed or you're going over to wherever you are. So you've got something that you can actually balance on for a moment. Okay. Good. So let's step back with our left foot and then gently raise the leg. Just raise the leg a little. Bend it. And then lift your sternum. So we're not grabbing or holding or anything. And then come back down. Change your neutral. And straighten and release the leg. Good. You guys are doing great. All right. So lift again, re-engage everything. Feet, quads, pelvic floor, belly, shoulders down. Hold on to your prop. Just make sure you're there. Good. And then lifting the opposite leg. Good. And then pivoting. I can pivot wherever you want. And then let's point the toe and bend the knee. And then just lifting your chest. Notice what's moving in the body. Good. And then undo your chest. So get rid of that back bend and then release the leg. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to take that same principle back down to the floor. Okay. So we're not going all the way up into a dancer pose today. We're doing a dancer building pose. So you can feel like you really understand the principles of that in your body. Okay. And how it moves the energy. So we're going to go down all the way to the floor. First, I'm going to take just a little squat. Put my elbows right above my knees and lift my bottom up and down, maybe 3 or 4 times. Just up and down. My knees and my feet are headed in the same direction. I am a little slew-footed here, but my knees are going out over my toes. Good. One more. Behind the squat. Good. And then just help yourself down to your knees. So we're back in Surya Churya. Good. Okay. So we're going to take the principles of what we were doing up. So let's step back with our right foot first. Take our right foot back. Okay. And then off the floor just a little bit. And then bend the knee. And then your left arm, just reach back. See if you could get anything. And then lift your head and show your sternum right in front of you. So if you wanted to do dancer standing, doing this every day for a week or so would really help. And release. Reach out through the leg and then replant it. Good. Okay. And now left leg back. Good. So back first. And then just that little lift. And then bend the knee. Point the toe. And just see about reaching back with the opposite hand. Open the shoulder. So looking down initially. And then how we're adding that back bend is just looking forward and letting our chest look forward rather than down. Just the top of our chest, our sternum. Good. And then gaze at the floor, release the back bend, release the leg, replace your leg, and then knees. And let's take a little cat pose here. Let's arch the spine toward the ceiling, press into the floor, breathe. Press your tops of the feet into the floor. Good. Come back through neutral as you exhale. Let's inhale in the opposite direction. You can add your feet or not. Good. And then come into neutral. Find that neutral spot. Curl your toes under for a moment and walk yourself back towards your heels. Good. Big circles. Excellent. And then starburst, a few starburst. Great. And then roll your shoulders forward, like they're going to touch each other, like they can kiss in front. Let me show you here. Shoulders forward, shoulders up, like Frankenstein, way up. Then back, way back, like they can kiss in the back. And then press them down. And then relax, just letting your shoulders completely relax. Good. So we're going to go to the floor. I'm going to show you what I want you to do because I don't want you craning your neck later looking at the screen. Okay? So we're going to lie down and I'm going to have a block. You could have a nice big book or something. If you are not inverting, so you're not inverting if you're on your menstrual cycle, a heavy day, you're not inverting if you have glaucoma, eye pressure problems, uncontrolled heart pressure, heart disease, or anything like that. You're just gonna, if that's the case, just right here with your bottom on the floor, just letting yourself relax. And if that's too much and you have a bed there, like maybe right there. So any way to modify it for you, so make it yours. If you are inverting, which means you're going to have Muladhara chakra at the pelvic region above your throat, the Vishuddha chakra. So anytime you lift like that, it's an inversion. So even bridge prep is an inversion. So you can take a bridge pose here if you'd like. You can take, I'm going to recommend Viparit Karani Mudra with a block. So I'm just dropping my knees in and toward the ceiling. My knees are not really doing, my legs are not, my legs are just soft and balancing in the sockets. Okay. So here, I'm going to come out of it because I'm going to, and you pick bridge pose, Viparita Mudra, or legs up the wall. And I'm going to come so I can see the timing and tell you when you're done. Good. So just lying down and taking, you can also just take an early Shavasana, just a nice, sweet, delicious corpse pose. So whatever you'd like, putting in these last gentle poses that let our energy recalibrate. Let all of that work we did just flush all of the vayus, all of the pranic energy of the body, cleansing, moving energy, keeping us strong and healthy. One more minute in that pose. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue in the mouth. Let your shoulders melt, your belly melt. Now, slowly beginning your transition into Shavasana. You are not already there. So finding your corpse pose. Babaji said this is the hardest pose to accomplish because it means looking for relaxation, complete relaxation in the body, in the breath, in the mind. So looking for your corpse pose, just letting go. Doing a scan of your body, melting any tension, just with your attention at that area. Releasing, relaxing. One last melting into the floor, letting go. And then slowly bringing your awareness into the breath, just noticing the rise and the fall of the belly or the chest. Bringing the senses online one by one. My voice, sound, touch your body on the floor, sight. Just let it, even with your eyes closed, envisioning. Taste, the taste in your mouth, and any smells that might be around you. Just bringing those five senses back online. Deciding how you want to make your way over into embryo pose. You can stretch, you can shrink, you can do both, however you'd like. Just rocking over to one side. Either side is fine. Just curled up, safe and secure in embryo pose. Again, just releasing, relaxing right there. And then slowly and gently just begin to press the floor away and spiral yourself back up to a comfortable seat, any seat. Oh, we only have about 10 more minutes total. So make sure your seat is comfortable. I just put myself on a pillow and I have two blocks under my knees so that I can actually stay for 10 minutes in the same place. So just seeing what makes that accessible to you, maybe even grabbing and sitting in a chair. Nice tall spine. Without changing it, noticing the breath. Just finding it in your belly, in your chest, in the diaphragm, right in between. And then let's use your next exhale to draw the belly to the spine. Just use your muscles, pull the belly in, and then release the belly and let the breath come in. And then again, exhale, draw the belly to the spine, really pull into those abdominal muscles, transverse, rectus, and release the belly, breath rushes in. So 2 or 3 more. Exhaling, belly to spine. Release. You may even hear a little sound as the breath moves and fills your lungs. Exhaling, continuing at your own pace, just breathing. This is Kriya 6 for those of you who know Babaji's Swasayam Kriyas. Exhaling, belly to spine, and releasing. A couple more. And this next time, I want you to exhale, belly to spine. Put your hands around your ribs, thumbs to the back ribs. And as you inhale, keep your belly stable and breathe into your thumbs. Really spreading the rib cage and then exhaling. So inhaling chest breath. Exhale. Belly stays stable. Two more. And then let's combine those two movements. So let your fingers rest on your belly and your thumbs are tucked back to your ribs. And you're going to exhale and draw the belly to the spine. Use the muscles, use the muscles, use the muscles. Relax the muscles. And then draw that same inhale up into the chest region. Spread into your thumbs, barrel of the chest. And then one slow, smooth, gentle exhalation. The very bottom of the exhalation, just draw the belly toward the spine. And then release the belly. And draw that same inhale up into the chest. Think about the back ribs, front ribs. And one slow, smooth exhalation. And just on your own, 2 or 3 full yogic breaths. 2-part inhalation, belly and chest. One slow, smooth, gentle exhalation. And then falling into your natural breath. Just letting any control go, letting the universe breathe you. Keeping your spine tall, just sliding right into our meditation. If you have an object of concentration that you use daily, please use that. Otherwise, just noticing the breath. Today, noticing the temperature of the breath as it comes in and as it goes out. Warming, purifying, using the nostrils. Inhaling cooler air. Exhaling warmer air. Just keeping your focus at the breath, at the nostrils. The mind wanders gently, lovingly, bring it back. Not controlling the breath at all, just letting the breath be and watching it. Noticing the pauses between the inhale and the exhale. Focusing on the breath. Gently releasing the meditation, the concentration, just letting the thoughts go. And then see where your mind goes. Just noticing, where does your mind go? Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned today in our practice, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. So remembering your intention and repeating it to yourself 3 times as if it were already happening. And then adding to these thoughts any prayers or petitions for someone or something that might need a little extra energy today. And then symbolically letting those thoughts drop from your mind down into your heart space, and your heart space into the very palms of your hands. And then just lift up and just let them go off into the universe. Just and bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Coming to you, I want to tell you why I picked dancer pose. And then I'll stop the recording. So there are so many benefits of dancer. And we often don't do it because it's a challenging pose, but you all did all of the elements of dancer today. So I just want you to think about that, of that moving all of that pranic energy. You don't have to do a full pose. You can break the pose down into what are the elements and then put those together in a different way and receive all of the benefits. Stop the recording.